Well, g'day everyone, and thanks for tuning in once again. Been a while since I've done a bit of a YouTube video, but today I thought I'd put a bit of a video together for you. We're in Fiordland. You can probably tell by this scene behind me here. This is the Fiordland National Park. This is the road into Milford Sound. We're currently spending about a month in New Zealand doing a couple of workshops. At the moment we've got a few days off between some workshops, and we've been sort of locked down in Te now for a few days because of the weather. There's been some pretty fickle weather the last few days. There was a lot of rain and snow, and some of these roads down here were also closed. But today the road's been opened, or it's opened about 10 minutes ago actually, the road down a bit further here. So just going for a bit of a drive this afternoon. We're scoping out a few locations for our upcoming workshop in this area. So we just want to make sure we've got lots of options. We always like to have at least 4 or 5 options for every shoot when we're doing a workshop, just so we've always got a plan A, B, C and D depending on local weather. So I thought I'd put a video together, bring you guys along for the ride. You can probably see behind me here, this is a stunning view. This part of the world's absolutely gorgeous. This is the view down the Eglinton Valley heading towards Milford Sound. There's lots of snow on the peaks. It's actually snowing very lightly in some areas right now. Ambient temperature about 3 or 4 degrees Celsius. A bit of a bite to the wind, but some really beautiful conditions. So no plan like usual for me, just drive along and see what we can find. I thought I'd bring you guys along and just let's see what happens in the next couple of hours. Hopefully we can get a few good photos, find a few good scenes, and even show you a bit of this beautiful New Zealand scenery. So let's get in the car and let's go. Just stopped by the roadside. This tree behind me here caught my eye, so I thought I'll have a look at it. I just got in there under the tree and I got these branches sort of leading out to this mountain behind me here, so I've taken a shot of that. I think it works out pretty good. It almost looks black and white. When I looked on the back of the camera after I took the image, almost looked like a black and white image. So I'll show you that image anyway. It's not a bad start. It's a photo to get the day rolling, and we'll keep on going. Okay, so we found a little cascade just right on the side of the road here. Looks good when you drive past in the car, but you know what these things are like. Sometimes they might look good when you drive past, and when you get there they're not so good. But anyway, we couldn't get a park too close, so we've had to park back down the road a fair way, and we're going to walk back up and just check this little cascade out. I'll report back in a second. Okay guys, well here it is. It's right next to the main road. It's literally only 20 feet off the main road, but this is actually a beautiful little cascade here. Beautiful moss on the rocks. I'm suspecting that because there's been a bit of snow and rain over the last couple of nights, that this little creek probably doesn't normally flow like this. It looks pretty cool. So yeah, might get in here with a camera. Lisa's got a tripod here. I've only got my camera, 24 to 105 lens. We'll see how we go. If I think it's going to be a really amazing shot, I can always go back to the car and get the tripod, or even a wide angle, but looks like it's definitely worthy of a shot, so let's see how we go. Yeah, so what a scene, eh? Just took a few handheld shots with a 24 to 105 lens, sort of running around that f8, f11, ISO 320, and sort of working around that 1/4 second shutter speed, which is about 1 to 1.5 stops underexposed, which is sort of normally how I shoot these scenes, and also using a circular polarizer. I did a couple of focus stacks, handheld. I don't know how they'll go, but if they do, I'm going to show it to you. I'm still sort of wondering whether this might suit a wide angle lens. So I think I might actually go back to the car and grab my wide angle lens, and it's a beautiful scene, it's really nice. So yeah, might go back to the car, grab my wide angle lens, and just give it a crack with a wide angle lens as well. It'd be a shame to not get it right, because it's a really beautiful little scene, and it probably won't have this sort of water flow in a few days time. So I'll go and get the wide angle and see how we go. Okay, so I've actually found another stream now. This one's in a different location to the last one that we photographed. This one's definitely a lot harder to get to. This one is not easily accessible at all. It's a bit of a scramble to get into this spot. But this one looks pretty cool as well. This one might even be a little bit more simplistic to shoot than the last one. I'm not sure yet, but I'm about to get the camera out and just see how I go. There's a nice little cascade behind me here. A few nice ferns as well. I guess the only problem today is there's a bit of wind around, so you can see the ferns sort of blow around a bit in the wind, so you need a pretty fast shutter speed to stop those from moving around. And I have only been shooting these waterfalls handheld. The good thing about the Canon R5 is the image stabilisation, and I'm not really afraid to shoot waterfalls handheld anymore since I've had the Canon R5. I find it pretty good in terms of the image stabilisation, so normally sort of around that 1/6, 1/8 of a second, somewhere around there, even a 1/4 of a second, you can get a pretty sharp image handheld on these waterfalls. Well guys, welcome back. Day 2 now. Much better weather today. We had a good day yesterday, lots of cool stuff. Some nice little cascades and waterfalls. Ended up with a bit of snow late in the day. We're back in Fiordland again for our second day. Absolute stunner of a day today. Temperatures are up about 7 or 8 degrees today. Yesterday was a lot colder than that. Yeah, back into the forest today, a bit more exploring. Hopefully we'll get a sunset in today as well. We've got a bit of a plan. There's a couple of places that we definitely want to visit today, so we're heading there now. You can probably see by these mountains behind me here. Some nice clouds up there as well. It's just a ripper of a day today, so we're pretty excited to get back out and get amongst it. So let's get stuck into it. Okay guys, so I'm just going to walk you through the shot that we've got here. This is one of the shots that we were aiming to get. So we're pretty keen to find this, and to get the conditions we've got here today are really good. It's beautiful conditions, like it's not a breath of wind, the lake's like a mirror. We sort of had this shot in mind, so we've found the shot. My glasses are fogging up again. Seems to happen a lot in these conditions. Anyway, we found the shot. I'm going to show you what we've got. We've got a lot of dynamic range in this scene because it's almost the middle of the day actually. It's probably about lunchtime, 12 o'clock, something like that. I'm going to show you the shot. I'll show you the back of the camera and I'll just explain to you the composition. The shot itself, stunning. There's very bright highlights on the mountains and the sky, and then there's very dark shadows in the trees and the foreground log here that you're about to see. So that's okay. What I'm probably going to do is just exposure blend it. So I'll take 2 different exposures, one for the dark shadows and one for the bright highlights. So I'll show you that now. Okay, so you can probably see the scene here. I'll just liven up my camera here. I'll lighten things up a bit so you can see that I'll move away from the camera. You can see the scene there in front of us. Absolutely stunning. I want to get that log in the foreground and that overhead branch as well, I think, and the reflection of course. But yeah, we're going to have to shoot a couple of different exposures here, so I'll probably shoot this at f16 just so I'm getting that depth of field. I may even try and focus stack it. I probably won't need to, but we'll see how we go. I'm going to take a bunch of shots, and I'll also take a vertical of this scene as well, and take different exposures and different focal lengths, just so I've got all the images I need. I don't like exposure blending and focus stacking when I don't need to, but I take the images anyway, and then when I get back home and I'm on the computer, when it comes to editing, I can decide what I need. So we'll get down to business. Lisa's very keen. Well, fingers crossed that we've got a respectable shot. Pretty hard dynamic range in the middle of the day. Obviously you can probably even see by looking behind me here, the shadows in the trees are very dark and then the highlights are light. That's just one of the challenges when you shoot in the daytime. I'm sure this location has probably even more potential in softer light, but in saying that, this mirrored reflection today is absolutely beautiful. So I've just taken a variance of exposures, some shots for the darker shadows and some shots for the highlights, so we can hopefully blend those together and make a good image for you. This one's actually a bonus image that I captured at the very same location about 2 weeks later after an early morning snowfall. And as it turns out, this has actually turned out to be probably one of my favourite photos for the year so far. One more final shot here before we get out of here. The sandflies are starting to drive us crazy. I don't know if you know much about the New Zealand sandflies, but they can be brutal. Pesky little buggers. So we're about to head off. I'm just going to take one more shot here. Pretty simple, straightforward reflection shot. I'll probably still bracket it, one for the shadows, one for the highlights, and hopefully I'll show you that one as well. We're going to move on. Next plan, maybe we can find some Kias, which are the New Zealand alpine parrots, hopefully, and we'll probably end up going to Milford Sound as well, and we might even get a sunset in there. So keep watching, and we'll see you again shortly. Just found this tree. I don't know if the GoPro's even going to pick this up, but I'll try a GoPro video of it and zoom in, but I've just taken some images of it with my zoom lens. The light on this tree is absolutely gorgeous, and this is the image I just took with my zoom. What are you doing, little fella? You trying to bite the GoPro? Eh? Hey! You're nipping at the GoPro. So we stopped here at Monkey Creek. You can probably see the Kias are out. Get out of the car. And they're very cheeky. Very mischievous, these little fellas. They're always good fun. They're highly intelligent birds. just waiting at the Homer tunnel. So I'm not sure if you know about this one, but there's actually a tunnel over here that goes through the mountain and takes you into Milford Sound. So we've got about a 2-minute wait. It's a one-way tunnel obviously, so we're about to go through the tunnel and then down to Milford Sound. Just did a mad scramble up this bloody cliff almost. I'll show it to you. Just climbed up there. We're trying to find a particular tree. A friend of mine actually photographed a pretty nice mossy tree in the forest around this area, and we're just trying to find it, but it's a hell of a scramble, let me tell you. This is like the very thick jungle here, so you probably can't even see. There's a tree over there behind me, not this one straight behind me, but another one, which we thought might have been the tree, but I don't think it is. I can't get a clean shot on it, so it's all part of the adventure, I guess. There is another tree down here a bit further, but yeah, really thick scrub here and pretty hard to get in. But anyway, sometimes when you do these crazy things, you find the shot, and it all turns out to be worth it when you get a good shot. So all part of the fun. Well, that didn't eventuate. It's quite a scramble. Almost broke my neck coming back, but I don't know, it's worth it. Sometimes you get the shot. I'm going to show you the photo of Matt's, just so you can see what we were madly chasing. So I'll show you that photo now. And yeah, it's getting close to sunset now, so we're actually going to head down to Milford Sound, down to the waterfront there. It's a bit of a bluebird sky, meaning all blue, no clouds, so I don't know what the light's going to be like, but we'll give it a go down there and have a look and see what happens. Hopefully we can get a couple of good shots for sunset. Okay, we're down at Milford Sound. I've lost Lisa already. She got out of the car and bolted. I've no idea where she is. I think she was going to the bathroom. She talked about shooting a sun star. I looked around and she's gone. I've no idea where she is. Don't know, I'm just going to go out and shoot. Hopefully she'll turn up. Sandflies are fierce. I'll just show you the view. I'll spin the camera around. Looks pretty stunning.
All the plans you made don't make sense anymore. Honey, I am sure that love was a good detour. Love was a good...
Looks pretty stunning. So yeah, going to head out out onto the forefront there, or shorefront, and see what we can come up with. There's some real nice atmosphere up the sound there, some nice light rays as the sun's setting behind Mitre Peak, so going to get out there and get down to business. Rightio, so I've walked all the way out to the shorefront. It's probably a fair way. Took a few shots. No signs of Lisa. I don't know where she is. I don't know where. She's just completely disappeared, so I'm going to have to go back and find her. I don't know. I'm heading back to the car park. Hopefully I can track her down. She's just disappeared off the face of the earth, so go and find her, and hopefully don't miss the sunset. Hopefully we can get back out here onto the shore front and get some shots. Righto, well, we found her. Turns out she was only 5 minutes away from the car trying to take some photos of sun stars, and I must have literally walked straight past her. Anyway, we're back out on the shore front here. I'll spin the camera around and give you a look at what we're looking at here. Pretty strong dynamic range here. The highlights are really bright, shadows are really dark, so it's the same sort of thing. Probably going to have to take 2 frames, one for the shadows, one for the highlights. I'm doing that in a scene like this. I'm doing that, you know, whether I need those images or not, I'll take them anyway, because you don't want to miss, you know, you don't want to get a shot that looks really good but the highlights are just completely blown out. At least you've got 2 images there if you need them. I'll show you what's happening here and we'll get down and get a few shots. There's this little puddle, I guess you'd call it, behind us here. It's pretty nice. It's got a really nice reflection of the big mountain's Mitre Peak. The one to the right, I forgot the name of it, but I'll write it down. So they're both reflecting in this little pond here. There's some real nice atmosphere and sort of low-lying clouds out in the sound, and you can probably see there's also some light rays coming through, so it's pretty nice. It's hard not Milford Sound, it doesn't matter if you what weather, rainy, whatever, it's always a stunning place to be, regardless of whether you sandflies, just ate one, regardless of whether you regardless of whether you get a good photo. It's a good place to be. Got the waterfall over here as well, so I'll show you that. Just wandering around here looking for a new composition, having a feed of sandflies at the same time. They are brutal today. I've eaten about 10, I reckon, so I won't need dinner tonight. I love these rocks with a bit of green seaweed on them. Sorry, more flies in my eyes. The challenge here is to maybe try and get a reflection, but also just keep the foreground pretty simple. There's some nice patterns in the sand here. I'll see what I can come up with, and I'll report back shortly. I'm getting pretty fussy here. I want to get the ultimate foreground. There's so many shots to be had here, but I'm quite particular about what I want to get in the foreground, so I'm moving around a lot. I've tried a few different shots. I want a very clean and simple foreground, and if I can, I'd like to get a few of these green weedy rocks in the foreground. Just walking through a bit of water here. So yeah, hopefully I can do that. I'm just moving more and more forward out into the sound and away from all the logs and things. There's lots of driftwood and logs that lay around here on the foreshore, and although they can look pretty cool, I just think they potentially make the foreground a little bit messy. These rocks are very slippery here, so I'll just be careful. So yeah, just trying to get something really clean and simple. See how I go. I'm getting pretty much right out towards the ocean now, so see what I can come up with. Okay guys, so I've decided to settle on this shot. It's pretty simple. There's a few reasons why I'm settling on this one. One, there's not a lot of foreground, it's just a reflection, so I can get away without focus stacking. I can sort of focus over on the other side of this little pond here behind me and get away with f/16. And I'm also once again exposure blending this. I'm taking two different shots, one for the dark shadows you can see in the mountains and one for the bright highlights in the sky, so I think that'll work out alright. I might take a couple other shots here too. I'm even considering a pano. There's some nice light rays down the back there. All in all, it's just a nice evening to be out here. If we come away with a couple of good shots, I'll be happy. If I don't, I'm not too stressed. I was only saying the other day on one of our workshops to a couple of our clients that I think when you sort of remove that stress or that pressure that you put on yourself to get good photos every time you go out, you actually enjoy yourself more and you probably get better photos. That's something I've certainly learned in the last few years. When I go out and shoot now, I have no expectations. And if I go home and I don't have any shots that I think are great, I'm not worried about it. It doesn't matter anymore. It's just about being there and in the moment. And like, this is pretty special regardless of whether you get a good photo or not. So that's how I look at it now. And I find when you sort of take that pressure away from yourself, I think you enjoy it a lot more. But yeah, as I say, I think you also probably get better photos too.
And things fall into place. All the plans you made don't make sense anymore. Honey, I am sure love was a good detour.
Well guys, I'm going to wrap this video up. That's about it for me here at Milford Sound. I've got my camera going over here. I'm actually taking a little bit of a time lapse on my R5. If it comes out alright, I'll show that to you as well. That's the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed coming along with us for a couple of days here at Milford Sound and Fiordland. It's been a real bunch of fun for myself and Lisa, just getting out, scouting some new areas, getting a few of our own photos and just having a bit of fun really. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I just want to say, as you may or may not know, I specialise in landscape photography workshops, and the place I specialise in is right here in New Zealand. I've got over 20 years experience here in New Zealand. If you want to come on a landscape photography workshop, I really, truly, hand on heart, believe that we do the best workshops in New Zealand. So if you want to know more, check those out on my website. I also want to say, if you're enjoying my content and you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd really appreciate it. And one more thing, please, if you enjoy the video, go ahead and leave a comment. It means a lot to me. I want to hear what you think. I want to hear what photos you like. I want to hear everything what you think about the video. So please go ahead and leave me a comment. Take care of yourself. Happy shooting, and we'll see you again in another video real soon. One more bonus image, and this image was actually taken during our workshop at Milford Sound about 2 weeks later. This proved to be a really popular image on my social media channels. Well, one last hurrah for us here in Tianao. I was happy to stay in bed, but Lisa wanted to come out for sunrise, but there's actually some really nice clouds here. So I've just come down the lake, and who knows, we might even get a shot out of this.